Ikwunne House of Horrors Part 1. The orange dust from the Hamatan wind settled over Onitsha as 12-year-old Ikwunne clutched her small traveling bag. Her mother Adanna wiped tears from her eyes as they stood at the motor park waiting for the bus that would take Ikwunne to Oka. Nne, remember what I told you. Your Auntie Ifeoma is my cousin. She will give you a better life than I can provide here, Adanna said, her voice cracking. The recent death of Ikwunne's father had left them destitute with 4 younger siblings to feed. But Mama, I want to stay and help you, Ikwunne pleaded. Your education is most important. Auntie Ifeoma promised you would attend school in Oka, and the money she will send for your help in her house will feed your brothers and sisters. Adanna strengthened Ikwunne's faded but clean dress. Be respectful, work hard and make me proud. The rusty overcrowded bus arrived, belching black smoke as Ikwunne climbed aboard. She felt a weight in her chest. Something told her this journey would change her life forever, but not in the way her mother had hoped. Auntie Ifeoma's compound in Oka was impressive, a two-story building with gleaming tiles and a black gate. Ikwunne's eyes widened. Perhaps this opportunity would indeed be her salvation. The gate swung open and Auntie Ifeoma emerged, dressed in an expensive lace wrapper and blouse. Her smile didn't reach her eyes as she assessed Ikwunne. So this is the girl. Skinnier than I expected. Can she work hard? Ifeoma directed her questions to the driver who had brought Ikwunne from the park as though the child wasn't present. Auntie, good afternoon, Ikwunne greeted with a curtsy. Auntie Ifeoma nodded. Come inside, there is much to be done. That first night, Ikwunne learned the reality of her new life. There would be no school. Instead, she would wake at 4:30 a.m. to begin chores, sweeping the compound, preparing breakfast for Auntie Ifeoma, her husband Emeka and their 2 children, washing clothes, cleaning the house, cooking lunch and dinner, and tending to whatever else was demanded of her. You are here to work, not to go to school, Ifeoma informed her coldly when Ikwunne mentioned her mother's expectations. Your mother has received payment, that is our arrangement. Tears soaked Ikwunne's thin mattress in the storage room that became her sleeping quarters. She clutched a small wooden doll her father had carved before her death. Weeks passed and life became a realm of endless work and verbal abuse. Auntie Ifeoma found fault with everything: the way Ikwunne swept, how she washed clothes, the taste of the soup she prepared. Useless girl, can't you do anything right? Became a daily refrain, often accompanied by a slap or a beating with whatever object was at hand. One evening, 6 months after her arrival, Ikwunne accidentally broke a plate while washing dishes. The sound of shattering ceramic brought Auntie Ifeoma running. You worthless child, she screamed, grabbing a wooden spoon and striking Ikwunne repeatedly. Do you know how much that costs? More than your life is worth. Ikwunne, coward, raised arms to protect her head. I am sorry, auntie. It slipped. I will be more careful. Sorry doesn't replace my plate. Another blow landed on Ikwunne's shoulders. Later that night, as Ikwunne nursed her bruises, Uncle Emeka came to her room. His presence was unusual. Nne, don't cry, he said, his voice unnaturally soft. He sat beside her on the mattress. My wife has a temper, but she means well. Ikwunne stiffened as his hand touched her shoulder, then traced down her arm. The touch didn't feel comforting, it felt wrong. You are becoming a beautiful young woman, he whispered. Ikwunne's heart raced with fear. That night marked the beginning of a new horror, one that would continue for nearly 2 years. Each time Uncle Emeka would threaten her into silence. If you tell anyone, they will say you seduced me. A house girl trying to steal her madam's husband. No one will believe you. And where would you go? Back to your poor mother who can't feed you? At 14, Ikwunne had endured enough. Her body bore the scars of Ifeoma's beating, and her spirit carried wounds far deeper from Emeka's violation. She hadn't heard from her mother in months. The promised money had stopped after the first year, and Auntie Ifeoma forbade any communication. The opportunity came on a market day, sent to buy fresh vegetables with strict instructions to return immediately. Ikwunne made her decision. Instead of returning to the house of horrors, she boarded a bus headed for nature, using money she had secretly saved from small tips given by visitors to the house. Her plan was simple but desperate: find her way back to her mother's village. When she arrived in Onitsha, fear overwhelmed her. The markets teemed with people, none of whom noticed a thin, frightening girl. As night fell, Ikwunne found shelter beneath a market stall. Hungry and terrified, she called into herself. Child, what are you doing here? A deep, gentle voice startled her. Ikwunne looked up to see a tall woman with kind eyes and an air of authority. She wore a simple but elegant wrapper and carried a basket of books. I I'm lost, Ikwunne stammered, unwilling to share her full story with a stranger. The woman who introduced herself as Professor Obioma Nweze sensed there was more to the story. She bought Ikwunne food and sat with her as they ate. I teach law at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Nweze explained, and I believed strongly in justice. Whatever has happened to you, child, you deserve better. Something the professor's manner, her quiet dignity and compassion broke through Ikwunne's defenses. The story poured out between sobs, the broken promises, the abuse, the violations. Professor Nweze listened without interruption. Her expression was grave. When Ikwunne finished, the woman reached a decision. You cannot return to that house, and finding your mother may be complicated if she's moved. Tonight you will come home with me. Tomorrow we'll begin to address this properly. Ikwunne hesitated. But why would you help me? I am nobody. Professor Nweze eyes flashed. You are nobody. Your child, he deserves protection and opportunity, and I cannot call myself an advocate for justice if I walk away from you. Professor Nweze's home in Onitsha was modest but comfortable, filled with books and warmth. Her husband, Dr. Nweze, a physician at the university hospital, welcomed Ikwunne without question, trusting his wife's judgment.